Hey VC, this is Mike again. Just touching base with you guys. I haven't talked to you in about a month. I'm sorry. I'm hoping to basically have some more updates soon here. I've been busy with work and all that fun stuff, raising a family. Went to Maxwell Street Days in Cedarburg, Wisconsin. That was last weekend, and definitely hit some. I thought I hit some pretty good deals, and highly recommend it if you're in the area or if you're within driving distance. I'd say. Right now, I'm playing one of the albums I picked up, the late great J.J. Cal. I'm sorry. This is just titled "Really," and it's a really, I guess it's a really good album. I enjoyed it. I bet I played this now at least 5-6 times. It's a really good record. I'll try not to get too in depth this video on what I paid for each one, especially being at a flea market like Maxwell Street Days. Everything varied so much. Some things I paid 50 cents for. I think the most I paid for an item, which I'll show you being the last one, I paid $14, but could be a little. I'll let you decide if I pay a little too much for that. But either way, I'm going to show you the albums though, and try not to waste too much of your time today. So, but here we go. I love Fleetwood Mac. They just released that box set of the early Fleetwood Mac, which intrigued me, and I thought, well, I'd really like to own some of that stuff. And so I started before I went to the flea market. I told my wife, I said I want to look for some old Fleetwood Mac, and I said there's some George Harrison I want to look for. There's a bunch of albums I was kind of seeking out, and so the Fleetwood Macs I came up with, Mystery to Me. Oops. Nice little gatefold there with the old band. Very nice, clean album. A little bit of tape up here, but still great condition. It's near perfect. And I found these all at one dealer actually. He also had this one, Fleetwood Mac Bare Trees. A little bit of a notch up here, but once again, album's in great shape. Sounds awesome. And I've listened to these two albums already. I really like them, so I was really pleased. I didn't pay very much for the records, so I got a good deal on them, and really excited that I found those. The other Fleetwood Mac I found, it was his suggestion, was Kiln House, and a real unique cover. Get that in there. Kind of looks like somebody used markers on it. Very. I haven't listened to this one yet, so I'm gonna probably try to listen to this tonight. But I was really excited. I got 3 Fleetwood Mac albums that I never heard before in my life, and now I have them for my collection. And the first 2 I really like a lot, so I'm holding high hopes for that. The third one there, the Kiln House, and hopefully I really like that one. I know there's a few others I kind of turned down. I was trying to keep my budget. I brought like $60 with me, so I really don't want to try to go over that. So I kind of was a little more picky this time. The other album I found, which I think some of you saw me post yesterday that I was listening to, is Saga and Worlds Apart, and very good album. And was really excited to find that one. I also, believe it or not, do not have this heavy metal band. I have their other albums, except for their first one. So I found Rats Out of the Cellar. Very excited that I finally have that, and we can put that one to rest, because how can you have their other albums but not that very iconic first album? I also found a couple more in that genre of heavy metal. I got Scorpions, Animal Magnetism, a little bit of Wear, but wow, great album. Have it on CD, and I'm just happy to find it on vinyl now too. So, and also I found, Love It for Sting. This next album, it pops up here and there, and I've always wanted. I have it like I said, everything I have on CD from the past, I've been trying to replace with vinyl. So what's kind of cool is that when I went down to the flea market this year, a lot of it was just to fill my collection with albums that I only have on CD currently. This one, I just think that a lot of stores kind of overprice it. I mean, I think just because it's probably one of their most popular albums, but I just refuse to pay even $8 for it. So I knew I'd find it cheaper, and that is Bad Company, 10 from 6. Everybody knows this album, but I was really happy to find it, and it was worth the wait. Paid $1. So I found 38 Special, Wild-Eyed Southern Boys, another one that's in my collection of CDs but no vinyl, which it's Simon and Garfunkel's Bridge Over Troubled Waters. If I sound a little more nasally than normal, I've been fighting a cold, so but yeah, a little bit of wear up here. Still a really great album. Sounds awesome. One thing is, even though I'm paying $1, I pay $4 or whatever, I look at these albums and I'm like, is it, I take them out of the sleeves, I'm looking, and it's funny. I mean, the sleeves can be a little beat up and everything, but for the most part, they are just clean as heck. I am really surprised. There were a couple, and I will show those to you, I did break down and buy just because, for the price, but I'll get to that in a second. I might get teased for this, but I do have this soft spot for a certain artist. I really like her work. I really enjoy her voice, and it's funny thing is her albums are usually very affordable because, well, there's probably a zillion of them out there, but she's also kind of country / pop, and people really don't get into that. But I've always enjoyed her, and what's too bad is, if you've been watching the news, she's been told she can't sing anymore. She has something, it's not cancer, but it's something she has wrong with her vocal cords now. It's a disease, and it's really too bad. She's such a beautiful singing artist, and that's Linda Ronstadt. Found this album, and never heard it before, so I'm excited to listen to it. And also, the other one I found was her with Aaron Neville, and this was actually the first album that kind of I heard of from her. And the story behind that is when I used to belong to the CD clubs back in the late 80s, early 90s, I forgot to turn in my little card. If you remember back then, and you'd send in, they would have a CD of the month, and if you didn't send back that card saying you didn't want it, they'd send it to you, and you have to pay for it, which, nice little scheme. Ironically, I didn't send the card back because, I don't know, I just got lazy or something, and I got sent this CD. I'm like, well, we'll see what it's all about. I really enjoyed this CD. In fact, I still listen to the CD every so often. It's great rainy day music, and Aaron Neville and her together are just amazing. It's a great album, and I was so happy. I did find this for $1, so I couldn't pass it up. I guess I've never even seen it on vinyl. This is her Cry Like a Rainstorm, Howl Like a Wind album, and boy, you thought I found a Beatles album that I never had. I was very excited when I found that for $1. So I also found Diana Ross, Everything Is Everything. A little bit of Lou Rawls, Bring It On Home, still in the saran wrap. I've really been listening to a lot of Lou lately. I really like his stuff. I'm kind of new to his work, so anytime I see an album of his, I just pick it up if it's, especially, I mean, boy, up here, I don't know what it is, Wisconsin, you can find some decent albums like that for dirt cheap. I also found Chet Atkins picks on the Beatles, plays all their big hits. Instrumental, of course, anybody knows Chet Atkins, amazing guitarist. This album alone is I've seen this one on Discogs. First time I've ever seen it at a flea market or I guess anywhere. So I was pretty excited to find that. This next album, I'm a 70s kid, so I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I love Star Wars. I love John Williams' work. And so when I found this for $1, I freaked out. I mean, everywhere I've been, record stores, antique stores, they want $18-20 for this album. And the funny thing is, it doesn't come with all this. I got the, let me hold this here. Comes with the lyrics, the song. It's basically a sheet just describing the music. And then also the advertisement to buy their t-shirt. Screams 70s. Has an awesome Vader on the back cover. Double album. And the best part, and a backup for this. Like I said, this is the bonus when you buy albums and you find the stuff that was originally in it still intact. But it's the Ralph McQuarrie. You see that out of the glare there? It's basically the scene of the Death Star attack. The famous Ralph McQuarrie artist, who also just passed away, I think, this year. Yeah, I think it was this last spring. He's the one that brought Star Wars to life with his paintings. I was really excited to find this album for $1, and that was to have all that bonus stuff in there. On top of the fact that, I mean, these albums are just clean. Cleaner than I would have ever expected for $1 album. So, very excited when I found that. Now I just gotta find Return of the Jedi. One of the neat things about collecting albums, vinyl, is it's one of those hobbies that you can experiment and try different artists, you can try different bands, and in most cases, it doesn't cost you much if it's something that's not up your alley. One of the artists, excuse me, that I've heard a lot about is Joan Baez, and Diamonds and Rust was the album that I heard a lot of good things about. And I saw it there, and I thought, hey, I'll pick it up, try it out. Very nice, fairly clean copy. The album is very clean. Covers, it's in decent shape. I put it on the other night. I was cleaning the house, and boy, wow, I really like it. I was really surprised. I don't know if I'll like all her stuff, but this album alone it's just a really good album. Really enjoyed it. Added to my Miles Davis collection. Got Miles at Fillmore. Of course, everyone knows if you're a Miles fan, it's a double album. And only thing is, there's a little bit of a notch up here. But the album's very nice, very well taken care of. Some ring wear on the outside cover, but I mean, where are you going to find original Miles Davis albums? This one, I'll tell you the price. I paid $4 for this, and honestly, I kicked myself. He had a lot of other Miles there that I really have not heard before, and I kind of bailed because I was trying to stay in that budget. Now I wish I just would have broke my budget and just bought it all up. So at $4 an album, and in the condition there it's in, the others were in too. I wouldn't have lost money on that. But he had said he bought a whole bunch from a seller, and I missed out on the classics. But these are more 70s, maybe late 60s. But maybe next year. I'll go grab them next year if they're still there. I also picked up Frank Sinatra's Sinatra 65. Everyone knows me, knows I love Frank Sinatra. On this one, Duke Ellington and Count Basie. What's cool is they collaborate on this album, and you can kind of see the pictures there, and it's a really intense album. I mean, it's almost like a battle of the orchestras. It's just amazing. Very, very. I've never seen it before. I was really excited when I found that. It was just one of those surprises. So, I also found Richard Heyman. I know nothing about this. The cover actually grabbed my attention. I thought it's a really nice looking cover. I don't know. It grabbed me, and I picked it up. It was cheap, and actually I like it. It's real clean sounding. You know, it's got. I can't compare them to anything. It's a little less horn and a little more string and some piano in there, and I mean there's horn in there, but it's not like Getz, or it's not like Davis, or it's definitely it's just a real clean, soft album. I like it. So I don't know why I talked that long about that record, but next one is Billy Preston. Of course, probably know why I like Billy. He had a lot to do with the Beatles, especially towards the end there. I like his voice. This is a good album. I wouldn't say it's great, but it definitely is was worth the 50 cents I paid. Definitely 70s, you can tell. And I don't know, there's a song in there that makes me wonder if it was written for the Beatles. But I don't know. I can't remember which one it is now. I was just looking to see if it jumped out at me, but it almost sounded like he was, I don't know, maybe I'm just thinking too much into it, but if I think of it, if it comes up in conversation, maybe I'll add to it more I listen to it. So also found the best of Basie, Count Basie and his orchestra. A little bit of wear up here, but the album's nice and clean. I love Count Basie. Artie Shaw. I don't know much about Artie. What I liked about this was it was the best of, which, I mean, I've seen the best of a lot of artists, and sometimes I'm like, if you really know the artist, you're like, really, why wasn't this on there? But I thought, for to get to know what kind of music he's kind of known for, I think that just see if I like it. I picked it up, and we'll see what happens. Definitely can't hurt, not for the prices I paid. I also picked up Michael Jackson, Gotta Be There. Some ring wear, but we call that well loved in my collection. But yeah, it's this one's a fairly clean. I would say this is a very good album. It's got. I cleaned it up, but it's got some scuffs on it and everything. But hey, can't go wrong. Not for the prices. I picked up this one, Connie Francis's Greatest Hits. And I also picked up another Frank. This one's more for my wall. I actually have this one. I have a better copy of it, but like the top of it's kind of. But I like this picture of him. I like the younger Frank photographs. And I thought this looked cool on my wall, so I got a frame that this is going to go into. But funny thing is, my wife didn't recognize him as Frank Sinatra. She thought he was somebody else. So he's pretty young in that picture. My next album I got was I picked up John Lennon Shaved Fish. I paid $8 for this one, and what's crazy is I don't know where you guys are from, if you see a lot of Lennon. I don't see any Lennon for some reason up here in Wisconsin. I don't know what it is. Just very rare. And when you do see it, they jack the prices up, and I just don't understand it. But of course, it's the price you pay when you're a Beatles fan. So I've been trying to pick up more of his solo stuff. it's just I don't see it. I just don't see a lot of it. And like I said, when I do see it, it's just crazy prices. Um, the next album I picked up, and I don't know, maybe you guys can help me out, but the band's called, is it Void? You see that? Yeah, right there. And this is actually a, I believe, a, let's see here. This says promotional only, not for sale. So I'm assuming it could have been a, it could have been a, maybe a radio disc. I don't know. 1993. I don't know anything about this band. I guess what caught my eye was the clear disc. And I haven't yet played it. So any information on Void, what they're all about, where they're from, it's cool. I like to hear that. So, and I paid $1 for it, so I don't know if it's, maybe it's not worth anything, you know, as far as the band stinks or whatever. I don't know. I don't care about the price of the album. I just thought for $1, I just liked it was a clear album. So, yeah. Okay. So far, I've shown albums that the covers were in decent shape. I talk a lot about the condition of the vinyl. There's 2 exceptions. I had stumbled into this area. Guy was selling a bunch of just, you know, rummage sale kind of stuff. And I noticed my daughter says, "Hey, Dad, look, there's a box over there with records." And I said, "Really?" So we went over there. And, oh my gosh, made me want to cry. They were just so bad. Looked like water. I don't know if it was in a flood or what, but I was flicking through them, and I didn't know if, I'm like, there's nothing here to really save. I was looking at them too, and most of them were just filthy. I wouldn't even put my cleaner through them, maybe. Except for there's 2 albums that I couldn't refuse, and I asked him what he wanted for them, and he told me $25, and I had to buy them. So first one was Jimi Hendrix Experience, or Are You Experienced? Sorry. As you can tell up here, some major water damage. You know, you can see it up in the tops here and here. I do not have any Hendrix at all, period. And the sad thing is, I mean, these weren't in real bad condition. There is some light. I don't know if you can see it. There's a, you know, it's got a little bit of scuff on there, but you know what? I took it home and I just gave it I gave it some, I guess, some tender love and care, and I washed it up the best I could, and I basically, I mean, it cleaned up really well. I couldn't believe it, and I just had to bring it home and kind of save it, and I needed it. I mean, I'm hoping to find covers down the road, or even better yet, maybe even better condition album. But you know what? For that price, I couldn't refuse. The other one, also same deal, water damage, is this one. This is Electric Ladyland. I haven't listened to this yet. I've heard a lot of good stuff about it as far as being a decent album. This one really took the hit. It's really too bad. Love the picture too. Jimmy and his boys there. But you know what? The album, same thing. I went and got them new sleeves, and I just gave them baths, and I really washed them up really good, and they sound they sound decent. Of course, you're gonna have your little bit of flaws in there as far as pops, hisses, but you know what? I couldn't pass it up. Not for those prices. So that was the exception, guys. I'm not perfect, but I just saw it and I thought I gotta bring it home and try to save it, I guess. But the final album, and I'm sorry this has taken so long. I noticed I'm at about 25 minutes. I'm really sorry. I'll try to keep these shorter. But when I went there's one box set I was looking for. I've been looking for a long time, and I keep going there, and there's this one vendor. Oh yeah, I'll bring them next time. I'll bring this box set, and I'm like, I'm just never gonna find it. And I paid a little bit, I think, too much for it, but I wanted it. And it was actually the vendor that was selling the Fleetwood Macs that I found it there. I was just digging through, and I saw this orange box, and it was George Harrison's Concert for Bangladesh, with the exception of one little rip here. Oops, over here. But the rest of the corners are just, sorry. Corners are nice and tight. There's no rip corners. It's in great shape, color. Excuse me. The color comes with the book. And of course, the discs are in mint condition. I mean, I don't even know if anybody even played this thing. I popped it on my turntable, and I was waiting to hear the, nothing. It's just clean as, it was just amazing. So I'm so excited. I found this, showed my wife, and I'm like, I found it. It's been many years, and I just refused to buy it off of eBay because you just don't know what you're getting. And everywhere else I'd go, they wanted too much. I paid $14 for it. 13 or 14. He gave me a deal actually because I bought some other albums with it. So I mean, but his price was 14. He cut me a decent deal. So I bet you I only paid like $10 for it. So, but I'm really happy, and it's in my collection now. It's one of those I can just finally say, okay, I got it, and we can just move on now and find the next big thing I need. But I don't want to waste any more of your time. I want to thank you so much for watching my videos. I'm hoping to be more consistent with these. I know it's been about a month since the last one, my intro video, but I'm hoping to be putting out another one in the next week or so here. Please subscribe if you like my stuff. I know I'm not real exciting, but I hope to find some really cool finds to show you, and please comment. I love to hear your comments, good or bad. If you hate me, tell me. If you like what I'm showing, awesome. Any information on, especially Void, if I'm saying that name wrong, definitely correct me. Or any information that there might be some Fleetwood Mac albums you might know that I'd like. Just shoot me a comment, and I look forward to talking to you. Thanks again, and you guys have a great day. Bye.